So Trump's border problem, he's so focused on the border. But I'm going to talk about this for a minute because everybody needs to know. Number one, he met Melania at a Jeff Epstein sex party and she was trafficked all the way from her home country. She's like represents everything he's talking about. Corrupting our blood, whatever, all that crap he talked about. That's what he did with her. He broke probably multiple laws in having her be his wife. Now, as if that wasn't bad enough, people forget about the case that there is against him for hiring all those illegal immigrants that were working with him in Mar-a-Lago since years ago. In fact, one of his personal assistants, a woman from Costa Rica, is part of that lawsuit. She used to be the one, every day he got up, before he was president, she would put his tie on and like tie his shoes and all this stuff because he was too much of a frickin' baby to put his own fucking clothes on. Okay? Now, really, the border problem, we're living in like seriously stupid times guided by these stupid fucking Republicans who don't know jack fucking shit about what life is like and what life is all about. I'm going to put it into perspective for you. For anybody who's watching, especially you stupid fucking MAGA freaks fucking trying to fuck with my channel. There's this thing called the European Union. You ever heard of it? Yeah, it's called the European Union. And there's how many countries that are a part of the European Union? And they all have open border policy between all of those countries. In fact, Sweden just joined the European Union. Turkey is part of the European Union, even though it only has a little piece of its country in Europe. The rest of it's in Asia Minor. Somehow, all those 23 different countries made it work for them. 23 countries part of a European Union where everybody has free access and mobility to any other of the countries and can go to any of the countries and find jobs, buy houses, do whatever. Or just be a tourist. So if Europe can do it with 23 countries, I think, maybe we should have a North American Union where Mexico, the United States, and Canada are all a part of it. There's only 3 countries, and for all intents and purposes, only 2 borders to have to manage. Not too hard to figure out unless you're a racist asshole like Donald Trump. Okay? So, what the fuck is he even talking about? He's trying to make our country go back in time, decades. He's trying to make our country not just about the border, but with racism, with discrimination, with intolerance, hatred, greed. Instead of moving forward into a more beautiful future, Donald Trump represents a move backwards to draconian time where he wants babies separated from their families. He wants, and all for what? To cover up his own. He wants to pretend like he never hired an illegal alien or his own wife wasn't gotten illegally. Give me a break. Donald Trump better not be president. I'm actually kind of hoping that this causes a huge problem. Because that way we can face the problem and finally deal with it once and for all and end it. Because if we keep tricking ourselves into believing that, it's going to be okay, the Republicans, remember something. In the last 50 years, every single major policy decision that was screwed up and fucked our country over and fucked other countries over was from the brainchild of a Republican-controlled Congress. It's like, seriously, everything from the drug war to the 1974 Sunpack oil law to the gutting of welfare, all of that was a Republican. Making the precursor drugs more available for methamphetamines while actually making criminal penalties harsher for methamphetamine. I've never done methamphetamine in my whole life, but I'm just talking about this is Republican policy we're talking about. These are policies that the Republicans foisted on us, and now they don't want to have to admit that they were wrong. And now we have another Republican asshole acting like he's got it right when he doesn't have it right at all. He's just trying to cover up everything that he did wrong by trying to pretend like he needs to act on the border. Bullcrap. Oh, and one last thing. It was the Republicans that instituted McCarthyism. It was the Republicans that were always against the Russians. So why is it now the Republicans are backing Donald Trump? when he's backed by Vladimir Putin? According to McCarthyism, Donald Trump should not only be blacklisted, he should be kicked out of anywhere he goes and not be given a job and not be allowed to make money or any of that crap. Oh, and on a final note, forgot. It was Republicans that were so gung ho with, making sure crime is punished and we need a police state and all this stuff. But when one of their own is now under scrutiny for being a criminal, Donald Trump himself, they'll all say, no, the courts are all wrong. When all these decades the courts were all right. Now, because it's one of their own, the courts are wrong. Sorry, that just doesn't work. Anybody who's got half a brain better not be voting for Donald Trump. Otherwise, you're a sad excuse for human existence. Leopold Richard Bamberger Alavisa was reporting about the border issue mainly and failed Republican policies in general.